If you ever feel awkward in sales, I'm going to give you this one simple trick to where you can close any client in any industry in sales. And I cannot believe I'm giving this out for free on the internet, but here we go. It's good. What you do is you assign this situation as somebody else's and say what advice you gave them. Take their situation and say, hey, this reminded me of a conversation I had previously with another client. What they found is this. Do you align with that or no? Allows you to say what you want to say, but about somebody else, and then ask if they align with it. You'd be so surprised at the amount of emotion that can open up from opening up a door like this. For example, let's say you're selling a high-ticket fitness offer where somebody's wanting to transform their fitness goal. You want to ask how not being their dream weight affects their relationships. Like, you want to get really emotional with the person, but that might be kind of awkward, right? You know, to ask, how does this affect your relationship with your wife, like in the bedroom? It's just way too awkward and way too much. So you're gonna do this instead. This conversation's kind of reminding me of one I had a couple months past with one of our other clients. Sprinkle in some testimonials here. What he found was that after investing into his fitness and his health, his relationship with his family, specifically his wife, dramatically improved. Not only just because he felt better, but he looked better. Something you kind of align with, or are you more something else?
So this is a pretty solid sales tip, right? Like, this is something you could do to really soften a question or something you're wanting to go into. Now, if you had good tone, you asked it in the right way that was conversational, not asking like, hey, how's things in the bedroom? But it's like, well, how are things like this actually affecting like your relationship with you and your wife? Like, that's not going to come across awkward if you get at this conversational if you have the right tone. I will say using stories, especially stories about yourself, stories about other clients, it's a real easy way that you can be very straightforward and even sprinkle in embedded commands. For example, like something that I will do on my sales calls when I'm talking about, you know, me changing. I'll tell them like, you know, I was in a very similar situation where I was like dead broke, and I really had to have the conversation with myself and just say like, hey, if you don't change, you will never get anything you ever want, and you're gonna have to have the same talk with your children that your dad had with you and live with that disappointment. And because of that, that made me want to change. So I have to ask you, right? And then I flip it on them. But like, I'm saying you, I'm using embedded commands, but I'm using it in a quote and a story about myself. So this is a really simple way to get more straightforward and actually talk directly at the prospect without them feeling attacked. Solid sales tip. I gave you a little bit more to take it up a notch. Use it on your next sales call. Let me know how it goes.